Hi guys, we're going to install EndeavourOS in a virtual machine. I've just put out there a new ArchLinux tweak tool, and the ArchLinux tweak tool is created for anything based on Arch. And there was a question, and that's why there's a new ATT, some new code inside Python, and it gives me an opportunity to install this one again. I do have it already on my real metal machine to the right, and everything works there. Update always. Since September, I think, the SSD, you've seen the video maybe earlier on, and everything works. But nevertheless, it's always interesting to test things out in a virtual machine. If we say, or anybody else says, it works on my end, and then you wonder, okay, why is it not working on mine? Because your machine has different packages, different settings, you made a mistake, you deleted all kind of things, right? Best thing is to have a look at something, well, at the Linux distro in a clean installation, after a clean installation. And then you can maybe start comparing what's the difference, what did I do, right? And why is it working on the virtual machine when I do a clean install, and why is it not working on mine? So that's the idea. That's why you need to have something in a virtual machine, and we do it all the time, right? If you want to be an ISO builder, which is possible if you follow some tutorials on ArcoLinuxISO.com and ALCI.com, your reference is always gonna be Arch. You have something in your household, real metal or virtual machines, but you have Arch. And then you compare and say, why is it happening on EndeavourOS? Why is it happening on Garuda? Why is it not happening on Arch? That's the question, right? If something strange happens and you're wondering, that's it. Compare. So that's what we're going to do here as well. Basically, I'm going to see if after a clean installation on EndeavourOS, the ArcoLinux tweak tool works, play around with it, and compare them with my real metal. Real metal works. How is this working, right? So let's wait for the installation to finish. Well, I got myself a cup of tea, like a real British guy. Done. At the press, done. And this is your grub, right? We can change that grub if we like. You can keep it if you like, because Linux is all about choices. So, hey, where's my wallpaper? It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Can update mirrors and update systems, but I'm not keen in all tools, not even ArchLinux tweak tool, right? I'm not using any of the ArchLinux tools. I'm actually going for update, but update is something that we know, right? Update is an alias. Alias update. Alias update equals sudo pacman -s yyuu. Now he knows. Update. So I'm gonna update my system. Okay. Now this is just an example that I typed up there. You need to type that one, the alias thing, right, in the bash rc. But just to show you that we can just tell the system, hey, that equals that. So from now on, I'm gonna type update. But if you want to keep it around, it has to be in the bash rc, zshrc, or fish. You will hear me sip from time to time. It's quite hot. And here we go with the key rings and all that, right? Always the keys. So fixed keys is what we have on ArcoLinux to get rid of things that do not work anymore. Now you start from scratch. Always a good thing. Clean slate. All gone. Again, new stuff. And then hope for the best. Now we have a browser. I need to go to the internet anyway, so I don't have to wait for this to finish. And we go to ArcoLinux.info. To be able to use the ArcoLinux packages and Xenmod kernel and so on, right? 3 Xenmod kernels. All the desktops, CHA DWM is my current love, right? How do I install it? I use the tool to install our ArcoLinux packages on any ArchLinux based distro. Download it here. Boom. Okay, download. And then we have an application, well, a tar ZST, and you need to install that particular thing. Sudo pacman -u are going to install it, so you type u, ArcoLinux spices, that's it. Oh yeah, he's busy. There's always the same rule, and that is that there can be only one pacman. And hey, he's finished now. Reboot, right? So somewhere down here, nope, he's not. Yeah, he's finished. So now I can run it, right? And that's a good thing to show you, to know that there can be only one pacman active, which makes sense, right? It makes sense. It's gonna override all kind of things. You can't have 2 of them. So now with an arrow up, I don't have to type everything again. It will work. And then you can do the spices thing first. So get ArcoLinux keys, click, go for it. Here's my password. He's writing everything away. And done. Update now. Now, since this is a big chunk of updates from EndeavourOS, we need to reboot, right? The message was clear. Don't log out, reboot, restart. Enter. So I've got my spices. What does that mean? It means that pacman is aware that Ctrl-T. If I type sudo pacman -syyuu, and he's gonna butt in, don't show me anymore, I remember, right? Then we have more lines. We have these lines. 3 extra packages. And now, of course, anything is possible. Really anything. Let's see. So Pamac is not installed. Well, one of the things you can do, if you like Pamac, it's coming from Manjaro. We've built it on our own way. We have our own package to have calamares. Sudo, well, yeah. Did I make a typo? No. Update is done. So the packages, the update is the sudo pacman -s still has been created. Why is that? To get the libraries in, right? These are libraries, these 3 lines. Now, am I mistaken? Did I make a typo? It's called, I think, ArcoLinux. Oh, Pamac. What am I typing? Yeah, what am I typing? Eric. Pamac. Oh my god, right? And then default 1 and so on. And there we go. Why I'm doing this, to show you something graphical. I always like to go to Pamac and not calamares. Like so, and software is the ideal word, or think, or install, or add, and you get this nice logo, and then we have Pamac, right? Repositories, that's why we're here. These are the repositories that you now have access to. Oh, you can keep on scrolling. And this is the third party, which means we didn't do a thing with it. It's from somebody else, and it's from the AUR, and we decided to put it on our repo just to have fast access to the files and the packages and all that, right? And we keep on scrolling, and we're at the bottom. And these are the big guys, the chunks, 153, 199, 258. There are guys with 1 gigabyte, I believe. So yeah, they need to be somewhere else. North Sea icon theme 645 megabyte. You wonder what that all is. Only Office bin 800. Enfin, so it's there, it's available, and it can be installed, but I don't install things with PAMAC. I look things up with PAMAC. Control T, sudo pacman -s. We're here for the ArchLinux tweak tool. And then there's the dev version, development version, and the Git version, which are today exactly the same. And then we have a problem, right? etc LSB release exists in the system. Why is that? Errors occurred. No packages were upgraded. Maybe, right? ArchLinux. Who is responsible for that? What's this? LSB release. Sudo pacman -s/yyuu. So I type sudo pacman -s lsb and then release. That's the problem, right? It's not our problem, it's the LSB release problem. It says exists already. It wants to be installed, but it is already there. You can solve that, huh? Have a look. File system, etc LSB release. So this guy, code name rolling. Okay, that's not a very interesting name. So sudo remove etc LSB release. Gone. And now we can install it. So, and then there it is. Add EndeavourOS specific config. So there is something on the machine that provides this, which is much better, right? This is okay. Can I now actually install this guy? No conflicts, no conflicts. So that's the reason there's something should be added to the package build that it does not stop there. And no changes needed to our package, to be clear. Okay, so the tweak tool is here if you want it, and we need to have a look. It goes nicely with the design. So here we are. Definitely want to check something. So the problem was something with shells that the user had. So install bash completion is something I'd like to do. Install the ATT bash RC from ArchLinux. Well, ArcoLinux, right? The bash RC is there. You can restore it if you want, right? Bash RC is enough for me. Play around with that. So if we go to here and we update, it works. If we type rip, it's maybe not gonna work because sudo pacman -s, right? xpac, and there we are, golden. But there's another way. There's also ATT again. So now it's playing around, right? We've shown that it works, that it can be installed. Only have to discuss with Joe what that file is. But the shells here, what was I going to say? Extra, right? Our bash RC. Sorry, didn't want to start you. Control H. Our bash RC contains all kinds of things. This is ours, right? Long list of stuff, but it needs applications. Like rip is awesome, but if you don't install rip, then the xpac, then it won't work. So select them all is an easier way, and then say install these applications. Boom, 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 it gets installed. Which now means, well, let this open and let's make another one. If I do rip, he knows what it's about. So the last thing I've installed was most, before that one, before that one, before that one, right? So this is the last list of all the installations. There's something called big, which are the biggest files: Firefox, Linux firmware, GCC, Linux, and off we go. Thinking about Linux, let's install the xenmod. So not -s Linux xenmod. Which one? You can have the Edge, the normal xenmod, or the LTS, right? Choose. And if you need it to have for applications like NVIDIA drivers or VirtualBox, you better install the headers. Let's try that as well. Can we switch to another kernel? Because the current kernel is not working, or just want to play around, but mainly we say try that one if hardware things well, do not work, internet, webcams, stuff like that. Then we say try changing the kernel. Restart. Xenmod. And time to drink. You can know here if it's gonna work or not, because if you go to the E or tabs, depending, you can see actually what's going to be loaded up. Ctrl-T, and we are not on VirtualBox, on xenmod, right? This is the default thing. So the question is, what happened? So you investigate. I say, okay, file system, boot. We do have xenmod here. That's a nice look, nice logo, right? Joe. And nothing to do with Joe, of course. I know, he knows. It's just icons. But the xenmod is here. Question is, why didn't he take it? So that's different than on ArcoLinux, for sure. Probably because we have hooks. We have hooks and he doesn't. So we have an update grub. That's done automatically. I don't have to think about it. Sudo reboot. And here we have the xenmod, right? That's the reason. There's always a reason. Keep thinking, right? Keep thinking, analyzing. That's the fun, I think, in Linux. The challenge and the fun. So now we're on xenmod. Let's go for ATT again. Play around with it. We can install all kinds of icons. So now I'm more testing my machine, my ATT. The one that I like, mono mixing icons. Is it this one? Let's see. This one is always necessary if you want one of the others, because it depends on that, but if you don't select, I think the dependency will take care of it. So icons. Yeah, that's the one, or that's the one. Well, it doesn't really matter. One of them, right? Close. And we've got different kind of icons. Of course, we don't make icons for those. That's why they're still colored. And here we have another way of looking at things, right? Just one of them. Icons, themes, extra. Themes, I would like to have something else. Arc paper maybe. Something grayish to go with this one. So let's design on Rise as well. Slate gray, I think that's probably gray, right? And then we have look, appearance, and we have slate gray and slate gray dark. Let's go for dark. I feel so dark today. Okay, so that's the first tab. Okay, auto start, firewall applet, I don't want that. By design, actually, I don't want firewall at all. So Ctrl-Alt-T, sudo pacman -remove, and then GU something. What's it called again? The application. So firewall, that's this one, and then edit application, firewall config. No, yes, but it's an application, it's something else. GUF, Nope. GFU, UF, something. Easiest way for me to find it is navigate to my GitHub, right? The knowledge that you gather, just a suggestion, put it somewhere, because you're gonna forget. And I go to here, and then still need to think a lot. Then you go to personal. Then if I am on EndeavourOS, I run my scripts and it goes and it sees, oh look, I'm on EndeavourOS, and it does things. Now this is not the thing. I need to be in the delete, the remove software thing. So if I'm on EndeavourOS, I am gonna remove, where is, here, the firewall D, that's the name, right? So I don't have to think about it. I just run my script, firewall D, it has to go. Right, bye. Choices, guys, choices. You choose something else. You keep it. Desktop. Yeah, you know where I'm going to. This one, right? Install. Quit. And let's continue there. Log out. Now, the machine wants all kinds of things, like sudo pacman -s. Fay would be nice, variety would be nice, maybe nitrogen. So that's for wallpapers. Black is black, fine, but right? We don't like black things. Sudo pacman. To have my wallpapers, we need to have the ArcoLinux wallpapers git. And there are other packages with other wallpapers. You just look with PAMAC. Let's see if we can log out. I have a wallpaper. Okay, cool. Now, wallpapers, yeah, you can make new wallpapers and people will say, beautiful, but after a week, right? You've seen them all. So, don't want that, don't want that, don't want that, don't want that, oops, don't want that. But what I do want is stuff that's new. I'm getting that straight from Wallhaven, like so. Close. And if I go for wallpaper selector, it will come more and more. It will gradually download more stuff. That's a nice one, I think. Let's see. Now, this is a beautiful wallpaper, but it's not the same, right? I mean, it is the same. It's not the one I selected. So, ArcoLinux variety git is the setting. It's not that easy to set wallpapers. There's 33 of these desktops. It all matters. So we have scripts to tell to DWM, CHWM, Dusk, Awesome, and so on. Change that way. Now Skell is something that comes from ArcoLinux, and here, somewhere else, right, it has Skell with double L. And we copy paste everything that's in the etc Skell over to my own home directory. The other thing that's also coming from ArcoLinux is fixed keys. Normally we type fixed keys with an S, but here we type it with a Z. A bit cooler, right? And it's part of the ArchLinux tool. The same script, same thing, because it's all Arch with a Z. Skell, double L, and fixed keys with a Z, not an S. So we do Super Shift R. Let's have a look. I think we need to wait a little bit here. Yeah. Super X logout. So the ArchLinux logout is there. We log back in, and there is our, well, it's okay, the wallpaper, but more importantly, it's there, right? That's variety kicking in, and with an Alt N, I have the next wallpaper. Alt N, I have the next wallpaper. Alt N, I have the next wallpaper, and so on. That's the fun. just a key binding, and we got something new. Applications should be installed, so that means Discord should be here, Telegram should be here, Minstick should be here, Power Control. And if you click it, it works. For the rest, if you want to learn about CHADWM, right, put this guy over here, go in there, put this guy over here, go in there, Ctrl-T, install yourself anything you like as editor, launch it, Ctrl-Shift-D, D menu, put it in there, and read every single thing that's in here and learn about CHDWM. Now, not everything. This thing and this, well, sorry, this thing and this thing. Basically this thing, because this is a copy of that. And of course the rest of the folders. You just learn CHDWM. Now, if I want to change icons and all that, and transparency, you need to get some stuff maybe. Now this is a virtual machine, so it might be already installed. Voila, it is. So it responds differently on a virtual machine. So it is transparent. And what else wanted to do? Ah yeah, the Alex appearance, right? If you want to change icons. So those are things you have to think about. Do I want to change the icons? Yeah, cool, okay. Well, then you need to have something, a tool. And you say slate gray dark is nice. The icon theme we went for was one of those guys. Let's take just arc, apply, and then we open up and we have a system like this. And you keep on playing, right? It's just what it is. It's fun, it's playing. Ctrl-T, ATT, let's focus on ATT again. So the desktop is there. Fixes. So the keyring is often a problem in Arch things. So voila, we can get the local keyring that we have on our machine. Or if that fails for some reason, right, we have the keyring online. We have the fix keys as well. That's the same command with a Z there. If the servers are not good, and so on, right? We can set the icon, the default cursor, and you see where it's going to be changed. Grub is now the the purplish look. We did not find the application ArcoLinux Grub theme Vimix, so the point is to switch that. I'm gonna leave it as is, right? But basically install the Grub theme and ATT will reboot automatically, and then you can choose the wallpapers behind it. And then we have login. As it does not work, it does not seem to be there. It's probably not, right? Because we were greeted with LightEM. So in here you can say some things to change, typically for that one. But LightEM, we can actually change LightEM. Let's take the green thing, select and apply and see how it works. So if we quit ATT and we log out, we have the green thing, right? So we're keeping as much an Endeavour as possible. Grub is still the same, just change the wallpaper. It's still LightEM, it's not SDM. But we have a new desktop, right, to play with. And Alt-N, and wary of the green thing, Alt-N, and voila, we have EndeavourOS again, Alt-N, and we have the sky. Well, not the sky, the universe. ATT again. It never stops because there's so much to be tested. And I'm gonna test every single thing. But maybe, so login, we've done that. Mirrors decide what to have and what not to have. So super F, if something is missing, just make it full screen, easy peasy, and then you say I want to enable this, enable that, and so on. So where are things coming from basically? NeoFetch is there, but NeoFetch is nice, right? Why change something that's nice? So beautiful logo, and it's all good the way it looks, unless you think otherwise and you go change, right? So there you go. Pacman. What's important as well is the repo of Chaotix, so Garuda. So now we're mixing ArcoLinux, EndeavourOS, Garuda. Because, you know what I'm gonna say? Because it's all Arch. So when I say update, and he knows my commands, no it does not. Let's get my commands in. Shells, install bash completion, install ATT bash RC, update. All right, source me the bash RC. I don't want to log out. Update. Then you see that we have the chaotic AOR, and immediately it wants to change something. Rate mirrors with Endeavour rate mirrors. So no, and there's nothing to do. Okay, let's do something that I want to know. Is Linux Xenmod Edge available? Yes, on mine. Yes, I know that it's on mine. Is it available on Chaotix? So I go to Pacman, I tell him, forget about ArcoLinux, right? Oh, sorry. Yes, yes, and yes. Forget about ArcoLinux. So when I do an update, the lines are gone. I can only download now from Chaotix. No. And there he is. Okay, good to know. That's, it's the Xenmod headers. No, don't want that. I want the sudo pacman -s linux xenmod edge. Is that available? Still not available. That's what I wanted to know. We'll see if it ever comes online again on Garuda. All right, playing around. Anything is possible. Privacy or privacy, install things. This actually blocks like 250,000 rubbish websites, right? So that's a neat little thing. You won't go to those websites. They can't connect to you, can't trace you, can't track you. So that's a cool thing. The same applies for Firefox. If you're using Firefox, uBlock is going to block all kinds of things. So also a good idea to install. Services, I don't know, what are we on? Let's go to another desktop, Control T, audio. We're on Pipewire, right? So alias, if you see, hey, how is he doing that? This is how we do it. So I don't have to remember it, because I forget this complex little thing. I just want to type audio. What's my audio like? It's Pipewire. Bluetooth if I want it, network discovery if I want it, printing if I want it, and Samba. Shells, done. Apply bash. We're on bash. Still is bash. But otherwise, if you're gonna switch, you need to install things and then apply it. I'm sticking to bash. Terminals, all kind of design themes you can add. Termite is gonna, this is end of life circle, so to speak. Let's add NeoFetch and lolcat. Lolcat takes a while because a bunch of applications. Voila, it's there. Control T, this is what I get now. It launches NeoFetch, but with colors. Lolcat. Ah yeah, nice. So this one, you compare. What do you want to look at? Themer, that's for themes if you install Awesome, i3, LoveWM or Qtile. And now we have user if you want to add some user or delete some users. Voila. The topic was, is it working? So there's one issue, one caveat that we need to check out is this etc lsb release thing, how we can overcome that. And that's it. I'll talk to Joe about it, what's the best way to do that. All right, guys, cheers. and enjoy, of course, EndeavourOS and the ArchLinux world.